Hi, today I'm going to talk about EDUC 150, which is our child family community class. And I'm really excited because this is our intro video. So welcome, this is our first class. So I'm really excited that you're here, that you're watching this video. So it's really exciting to just have you join me in this new adventure, right? Which is like every new class, a new adventure. So just welcome on board. I'm excited. I like to call this class, if I could rename this class, I would call it Multicultural Approaches to Family Engagement in Early Education. But this class is known as Child, Family, and Community, or I would call it Family Engagement. We could name it in so many different ways, right? But it's nice to be thinking about that. Multicultural approaches to family engagement in early education is a good way to say it. All right. So the first thing that I want to ask you is about the remind system. So if you're not getting text messages from me yet, you're missing out because I have sent several text messages to the group. So have you signed up yet? If you have not, so you should be going to our page, the Canvas page, and you should be going into the announcements and also like class 1 week 1 and looking at the remind system sign up information. So go there and click on that and the information is there for you. It's free and that's how we communicate between weeks, and you need to know what's going on. So do that now. Okay, pause your video and do that now. All right. Okay, so I'm excited. This next thing is what I call S3 before me. So I get tons of emails. They're always the same. Mrs. Johnson, where is the Dropbox for this assignment? Mrs. Johnson, how do I turn this in? Mrs. Johnson, I don't know how to find this, and that. Mrs. Johnson, I don't have my book. Is this assignment due yet? Mrs. Johnson, where is the syllabus? Mrs. Johnson, all those questions. I received the same questions over and over again. In each quarter, I have between, 75 students to 200 students. So it helps me if I have one place where I can go and look for questions and answers. And I would like you to be asking the question in this thread called S3 before me. It's going to be open the whole entire quarter. And I repeat that throughout the weeks. So it's always fresh. And I'm gonna actually have to do like a deadline so that it keeps popping up in your to-do list, right? So I want you to reply to each other, because if you know the answer to the question, or you might have a hint on what the answer is, just help each other out, right? That is to build community and to help me as well, so I don't have to reply to the same exact question 75 times, 30 times, depending on the question. It's the exact same time. Or maybe I forgot to click on one thing, like let's say I created a discussion thread and I forgot to click one box, and then I get 30 emails about that. So maybe I get one notification from that discussion thread and that's enough, right? But I appreciate you helping me too. Thank you for doing that. So that will help you become independent as you become a community. So minimize the number of emails or replies to me, in a sense that you don't have to reply to every message you get from me or every email, right? You can, but you don't have to. So I don't get 30, 40, 75 emails saying, okay, thank you, or, things like that. And then make sure you stay on top of your assignments. So being part of this S3 before me helps you know what's going on. And then make sure that you know that the new content for each week is going to be posted at the end of each week. So I usually post content around Thursdays or Fridays. All right. And then I always message you using the remind system and then the announcements. And then I usually also email everyone, so you will know when new things are popping up. Woo. Our first thing that you're going to do, it's going to be available on Canvas, okay? It's going to be a Word document that's going to be called pre-assessment. I want you to answer 3 questions, okay, this week. And those 3 questions are going to be really simple. And I want you to be thinking about those things before you dive into reading your book, because probably you don't have it yet. You're buying it this week. You might have it, but you might not find those answers right away, because that's what we're going to study the whole quarter. So the first question is, what are your views? So that means like it's your opinion, right? What are your views on parent and school partnerships? So how do you see those partnerships, right? Maybe from being a parent, or from being an educator, or from both points of view if you are a parent already. Okay? The second question I want you to answer is, what's culture? Define it for me. Okay? The third question is, what do you know about funds of knowledge? Like, Mrs. Johnson, I have no idea what that is. So maybe that's what you're gonna write to me. Maybe you wanna read about it online and then be like, okay, this is what I learned about funds of knowledge by reading, but maybe I'm not really sure about this. I want you to be honest with me what you know about funds of knowledge, or what you think you know. So a pre-assessment means that you don't need to know or research about this. I want to know your honest knowledge before we study the topic. So that's what you do with your students. You pre-assess to know the level of comfort that people have, right? So you're gonna see this on Canvas, either as a quiz or as a Word document. So just be ready to see it under the first week of class, okay? After you watch this video. All right, so this is gonna be your first assignment before I even start our content. So be ready for this, okay? Cool. Now, the objectives for EDUC150. So number one, right? We're going to, of course, get to know each other. We've started doing that already through some strategies that I've implemented this week, right? And the first thing that I want to say is, the main reason why we're going to study partnerships is because we need to explore the importance of building those partnerships. Not just to talk about it, but we're going to explore the importance of building those partnerships with families, and then those strategies for working effectively with them, right? I'm going to say that word again, effectively with them, because they come from a variety of cultural, linguistic, ethnic, and socioeconomic backgrounds. So I want you to be thinking about that, okay? How are you going to work with them effectively, you know, and then make sure that you are meeting the needs of the families that are so different from your own background, okay? That's what I want you to be thinking about. Now, I want you to, during the discussion thread that I'm gonna have on Canvas for you, I want you to be, after you watch this video, I want you to answer those questions in the discussion, okay? What are your feelings about working with families? What do you consider your strengths in working with families? What do you enjoy about working with them? And what are some of the challenges when working with families? So think about all the interactions you've had throughout your whole, you know, life of being an educator or being a parent, even about being a student, right? Sometimes we have experience being a student and we remember like those interactions, right? Being with your family and then seeing the teacher. What are your feelings, right, about those interactions? Now, if you're already an educator, which is, you know, what I'm expecting here, what are your feelings about those interactions? It's kind of important to be thinking about that, right? So think about that and jot down some notes. So I would like you to pause your video right now and just write down some ideas about how you would answer those questions so you don't get lost, okay? Always have with you, as you watch the videos that I'm gonna be posting, have a notebook, all right? Have a notebook with you, and then jot down your answers, write the questions that I pose, and then just kind of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna write that down. And then have notes for yourself. It's very important to be organized, okay? Have highlighters, have colored pens, have post-it notes. You can find those anywhere, like at Walmart, Walgreens, any like corner store, right? Dollar store, and so on and so forth. So take a second and do that. Awesome. Okay, so now that you paused for a little bit, answered some of the questions, jot down some ideas, I want you to think about some of those quotes that I have here on the screen for you. Parents' perceptions on their experiences with early learners. So I have a few right here. I have so many questions for the teachers, but they seem so busy with the children. I don't feel like I should interrupt. That's one parent's perception, right? There's one teacher that I can talk to about my child, but when she isn't there, I don't get any information. So there's like one person that knows, the others don't seem to know. I often have information I want to tell the teacher about my child's needs or health or about what is happening in our family, but I can't figure out a good time to talk to him. So there's this other situation. And then there's this other one. I love spending time with my child in the program. I learned so much from watching the teachers and seeing my child plays with and who her friends are, but I wonder if I'm in the way, if the teachers just want the school to be for the kids. So I'm thinking the last one is about parent that is part of this a program of, that allows parents to be involved, and if, parent feels not included enough. So parents' perceptions of not being included in this, program. How do you think, well, the question that I have for you, how do you think the parents feel, the parents that you work with, how do you think they feel about being in your school when they go pick up the kids or drop the kids off, right? Think about that. All right, so let's set the stage for family engagement. That's what we're here for, right? This is my introduction for you. We're not even talking about the book yet, or chapters, nothing. This is just to set the stage. So there's 3 ways that we can engage with parents. We can have the family engagement. Number 1, you can do a school-centered method of involvement. Community, students, and parents, they go to the school. The second model is the reach out model. The school reaches out to the community, students, and parents. They go out. They go to the community, they do events outside of the school, they reach out to the parents. They're not calling the parents to go in, they are reaching out, right? So the parents that don't speak the same language as the teachers, for example, they might feel more included if the teachers in the school will have events by their homes, or they will go do a home visit, or they will go reach out in their churches, or and kind of make that connection and be more involved, right? Versus the parents having to go into the school. The other approach, number 3, is the symbiotic engagement. If you're at home, say that word to yourself, symbiotic. Say that again, symbiotic. It means goes both ways, right? Community and school, students in school, parents in school, they all have that communication and that relationship. It's like an avenue that goes both ways. That is wonderful. How do we do that? Well, that's what we're going to explore this quarter, okay? And we're going to do this together. And I want to know your ideas too. Now, when you have a chance and you are at work, or you have a family member that you can talk to, and during the discussion thread that I'll be posting right after you watch this, I want you to discuss some examples of family engagement. I want you to have examples of all 3: school-centered, reach out approach, and symbiotic. Okay? So if you have a minute, I would like you to grab your phone right now, grab your phone, and I would like you to do a screenshot. Just kind of do a screenshot like that. You can like take a picture, and then you have it for yourself, just like I do right here. Or you can do a screenshot with in your computer if you know how to do that, okay? And you can save that image for later. And you can use that during your discussion thread to talk about those 3 ways of engaging with families and discuss those examples that come to mind. You're like, oh yeah, I've done this. When parents came to the school, we did this. Reach out, to connect with parents when the school went to the community, we did this particular event. It was super cool. Like a picnic, or give me examples, okay? And then symbiotic. If you haven't seen it yet, think about ways that you could do it. We're going to talk more about that later. All right? And then to wrap up this part is just remembering to honor, connect, and create. So family and staff capacity outcomes. So when you do connect to those families in the right way, you're going to honor and recognize families' funds of knowledge. Funds of knowledge is an amazing thing. Funds of knowledge is when you are connecting with what students and families are all about, what they know, what they come with, their experiences, what they grew up knowing. Like, you're honoring their background, okay, their diverse background. And you're connecting family engagement to student learning. You're making that connection. When you do it right, when you're connecting the symbiotic approach, you're doing it right. You're creating welcoming and inviting cultures, and you're just doing a fabulous job. So we're going to be talking about examples this quarter. This is just an introduction video to get you excited. How do we do that, right? And then families who can negotiate multiple roles, if they can be part and they're involved with this whole process, they can be supporters, encouragers, monitors. They can advocate for their children. They can be decision makers and be part of the school, decision making process, and they can be collaborators. It's amazing. So then in pink, right in the middle, I have effective family school partnerships, supporting student achievement and school improvement. But how? We're going to talk about that this whole entire quarter. I can't wait. Now, to wrap up this quick video, I want to tell you just a quick thing. Be ready for every week a weekly discussion thread about the content, about our videos. And then when we do have chapters to read, they will be in the syllabus. They will be there in at the last part of each chapter. At the end of each calendar. At the end of the syllabus, there's a calendar. At the end of that, there's also like the chapter numbers, so you know exactly where to look at, right? There's the calendar, the dates, and you have like, oh yeah, today you have to read chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, whatever. When you have a chapter to read, you will say, oh yeah, today I need to do an outline. An outline is like a little summary, and there will be an example, and there will be also a template. A template is like a blank document that gives you like a way to do it. It's really cool. And inquiry questions means you're gonna write questions about what you read. There will be an example as well. Super easy, super simple. Make it quick. Make it like concise, meaning short, meaning right to the point, objective. Okay. So that you remember what you read, and then page numbers for each section, like main ideas of what you read. And then you can look at the page number and can go back right away. And then there will be a Dropbox for you to turn in your assignments. If there's no Dropbox, there's no assignment to turn in. This quarter, you're going to be creating your own YouTube channel. I'll have a couple videos for you to watch, and it teaches you how to. You've done that before. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You know that. And then if you don't know how, after watching the videos, you can use the S3 for me, but I'm sure you're going to do just fine. And then we're going to also be creating a resume using a template that I'm going to give you, not this week, later. We're going to be doing that so that you're ready for new jobs, or for just having your resume ready to go for whenever you need it. Because soon, maybe you're going to want to, go to the bachelor's in teaching, continue the program, and then you're going to need a resume. Just, it's a good thing to have. So we're going to do that. All right. Thank you for watching this video, and I cannot wait for next week for our next video, and let me know what you need, and see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.